also put behind them teams like South Canterbury and Parramatta. But that's how Eastern Suburbs came to this cup final, with a relatively easy draw. They defeated Queensland Country, New South Wales Country, but then it was a guts effort by Eastern Suburbs to bowl over St George by 22-10, and it was in that match that everybody realised the red, white and blues wanted the $120,000 of first prize money on offer tonight. And so there's the Eastern Suburbs side, bearing a very similar appearance to the one that defeated St George: Atkins, McKellar, Ferguson, Leggett, Green, Eden, Gale, Hastings, Wheeler, Regan, Dane Sorensen, Ernie Garland and Paul Dunn. Brisbane, as I said, they had a very hard road coming down to this cup final, their second ever. They took on South at Lang Park. They beat them 25-18, and who'll ever forget that very controversial clash? Then they took on the premiership frontrunners, the Canterbury Bulldogs, and they beat them, again in controversial circumstances, but they earned their victory by 14-11. But in my mind, their best win was over Parramatta on Sydney soil at Leichhardt by 14 points to 12 over Parramatta. As far as I'm concerned, whichever way you want to look at it, this Brisbane side is certainly a champion one. Scott, Kilroy, Rebo, Meninga, Miles and Lewis, today described as the mean machine. Foster, Linda, Fullerton Smith, Niebling, Paulson, Muller and Dowling. It certainly is a very awesome lineup for Eastern Suburbs to take on tonight. Bill Anderson will join me in just a few moments' time. I haven't spoken to him, but I believe that this is going to be a very big task for Eastern Suburbs to take out the cup final. 120,000 to the winner, 83,000 to the runner-up. Bill will... Garland at dummy half in 12. A decoy run to the open, back to Scott Gale, who puts in the kick for touch. The crowd cries as Colin Scott covers it and brings it back. Oh, and he ran into the shoulder of Regan. Folded the final message from Coach Laurie Fryer: hit them hard, hit them often, try and bustle them. They're a good side and you've got to do that. Scott gets a kick in. Will it find touch? Kicked ahead by Kilroy over the dead ball line.
And I'll tell you what, if it had to...
And now it's Brian Niebling.
Eastern Suburbs markers will have to watch themselves. They're breaking very quickly from that marker area, probably before the ball's even been played. And of course, they'll incur a penalty if they continue to do that.
Lewis is into a hole. He's found Miles. Backing up is Linda. Linda's looking for the line. Gets a pass. That could still be a try, I think. Meninga just into East Territory now. And I'd say that's 4 tackles gone. No score in the 1984 Cup final. Lewis stabs the ball. He's looking to find touch inside the 22. He won't. Ferguson has it covered. And here's John Ferguson now. Away from 2. Inside a 3rd. And away from a 4th. Miles away from dummy half, an ominous sign. There was no marker defence. Ferguson takes it on the feet. Atkins brings it back, gets to Miles, away from Miles, inside another. Good run by Atkins. Out to the 32-metre point. Plays it back to Hastings. It's gone to Dane Sorensen, and Dane is tackled by Fullerton Smith and by Paulson. Across now for Dunn, and Eastern Suburbs get a pass back to Garland. Garland back to Gale. Gale has made an opening. Gale has gone inside 32. Picks up Horry Hastings. Kevin gets a pass away to Garland. Garland is tackled. Meters out. That's the 4th tackle for the Roosters. Sorensen hits it in to the centre of the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for a drop goal. Eastern Suburbs. It's fed back for Hastings to go for the field goal. He's got it. It's a goal. Eastern Suburbs lead 1-0 after 20 minutes of time. Hastings, he plays it back, and it's with the number 1, which is Colin Scott. He's about 5 or 6 metres into Eastern Suburbs territory. Plays it back to Muller. It's gone across to Foster, then Lewis, and now Meninga. Meninga stands, gets it to Miles. Miles is into a very big space. There's a chance on for Brisbane, but Gale is around the legs again. He's made many of those tackles. Scott Gale in the opening 20 minutes. This is Wally Fullerton Smith now. About 12 metres out from the east.
That wasn't necessary. They had a 2 or 3 man overlap on the left-hand side of the field. Their inside players didn't...
David Green! Green has made a bust. He's outside 45 to the halfway, and Ferguson has dropped it.
A try butchered by Eastern Suburbs. A great break by David. Well, as we move into the second 10 minutes of this second quarter of the play, it's about time that Wally Lewis started to do something, and he's the player that Brisbane will be looking to. We can see him now moving into that first off the ruck role where he'll take the first pass, and Foster's moving out the second pass off the ruck.
Well, Wally Lewis is tackled about 7 metres out from his line. He wouldn't be very happy with Muller. Muller got in his way, but he's over! That's a try! Scored by Wally Lewis from dummy half. He made it look all so simple. Let's have a look and see it. At this stage, would still be unaware that he's taken out the $5,000 for creating the golden try of 1984. Not that I think it's going to make him play any better. Taking it out is Paulson for Brisbane. Kilroy delivering a beautiful pass to Bob Linder. He got rid of Scott Gow with a magnificent fend. It's on to Kilroy. Look at Eden coming across, and Eden has made the tackle. Only just, though, let me tell you. You can just put your nose in front. Determination, discipline can drive you on to the finishing line. Sorensen almost getting through then, Bill.
Eastern Suburbs are up in the end of the field they'd like to be. I don't know whether they'll settle for a field goal and then work maybe on another one later, but at least they're in kicking territory should they be given a penalty.
This is McKellar. He's through a tackle. He's through a space. He's inside the quarter. McKellar, the captain. He's played of a game, Dane Sorensen. On the 5th tackle, it'll be played back for Garland to give away to Gale to kick, and there it goes down into the inside the 22 area. Rebo's got it. Rebo with that ring of defence. Oh, he's gone straight through McKellar. He's outside the 32. A long, long run by Rebo. Away from Atkins and taken by David Green. In touch.
Rebo always tries to beat his man on the outside, and there we can see he tried it twice. The first time he was successful. He went around the first defender, tried it on again around Graham, again the second defender that was Graham Atkins, and was finally pushed over the sideline.
So the scrub, just on the east side of the halfway, and that's a very big push by Brisbane, and they've won their second scrum against the feed, and this is Tony Curry, who's pulled down about 28 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. Brisbane with Meninga to Lewis, and then it's gone on to Miles, and the big international centre is in to score. Eastern Suburbs could no longer deny them, with Gene Miles under the uprights, bringing a smile to the face of Bobby McCarthy. Right in front, Brisbane leading by 10-5. Successful from Mal Meninga. So Brisbane lead in the cup final by 12 points to 5 now. Baylor have done some tremendous tackles. Hastings, and that kick is well placed. Getting down to Rebo now, though. Brisbane by 7. Rebo went around Worth very easily.
Once again, you can see an example of how
And Wheeler is tackled about 3 metres into Brisbane's area. Dummy half is only Garland. It's gone to Kevin Hastings and across to Gavin Miller. He holds the ball back as the defence got between him and Steve Hardy. And Miller was, of course, with the Cronulla Cup final against Manly. Gary Worth now, 5 metres into Brisbane's area, and we're on the 5th tackle. As it comes back and Hastings puts it up high. Lewis is back there, and Lewis has put it down. He was tackled, kicked ahead by Regan. There's a chance on. Can Regan put it down? I think he may give it. I think he's going to give it. Yes, he's given a try to Regan. Has scored the try, and that is Steve Hardy.
Well, it was a speculator kick by Kevin Hastings, and here we can see that Wally Lewis is human. He does drop the ball on occasions. The ball's towed ahead after the error by Terry Regan, but Ray, I think that Chris Ward's awarded Regan the try under the post rather than the second knockdown. Let's look for it here. Regan goes for the ball. Regan goes for the ball, and I think that he's awarded the try on the first one, which was Terry Regan, rather than the second.
Well, Terry Regan has now been brought from the field, injured, or should I say, just 8 minutes of the cup final remaining. Dunn going as strong now as he was at the start. Hastings turning it back into the middle for Sorensen. Sorensen to the halfway, and the Kiwi international asked to play the ball. dummy half Finlayson, and coming up is Wheeler. He's been down injured that many times, Mark Wheeler. I thought he'll have to be taken off, but he's now in a situation where his coach hasn't got any replacements. He's just tackled himself to a standstill, and 17 is Hardy. He spins out of a tackle, but he's held about 3 metres into Brisbane territory.
That attempted tackle was by Dowling, and that's a tackle that he would normally make easily, except for the circumstances where he's injured. He's just got to come off the field.
Dunn getting a pass away, but it's gone to the Brisbane team. Paul Dunn realising that he's got to squeeze balls out. He's got to squeeze out the pass that probably he wouldn't want to do normally, but it's just got to be now. Minutes are ticking away. 7 to go. Brisbane by a point, and they've coughed it up, and it'll be a scrum. Just on the eastern suburb side of the halfway. So timeout will probably be called with a player down at the point of the scrum. Now Dunn gets to his feet. The penalties are 11-8 to East. The scrums are 6-3 to Brisbane. And here's East winning a scrum. Atkins hits the back line. He's held on the halfway. The crowd roars for a high tackle. The referee dismisses their appeal. It goes across through Finlayson to Miller. Miller to Eden. Eden to Leggett. Leggett's going down about 15 metres into Brisbane territory. Not held. Now he's tackled. They must stretch the ball to the right and fast. Hastings, Miller, Eden, Hardy. Dunn's on his outside. Steve Hardy, I should say, tries to make the break. Little Steve Hardy, you're kidding. He's quite a big lad of a lad. Dunn now comes back towards the middle, 25 metres out from the Brisbane line. Play in the centre, Sorensen. Sorensen takes them on again, and he's reached the 22, Sorensen. They're still wide to the left and the right. This is the last tackle, though. It's come out to Gavin Miller. There goes the bomb off the left foot, back into the middle. The man under it is Curry. He's got it. Oh dear, oh dear. This telecast going through to our good friends in Brisbane tonight, and I reckon they might not have any nails left, because it's a real nail biter. And Tony Curry gave them good cause too right there, as Brisbane cling to a 1-point lead. I sure hope you're enjoying this exclusive sports special out of Leichhardt.
And look at that for leading by, sorry Ray, look at that for leading by example. Wally Lewis, the Brisbane and Australian captain, took the ball one off the ruck, powered 15 metres forward, as much as to say, that's how you do it now, get in and do it.
So it's just outside the 22 line. Brisbane are on their last tackle now. It's played back to Rebo, given to Gene Miles. There's that big kick. Atkins is under it. He'll take David Green up with him. Atkins outside 32, coming to the 45 line, or coming to the 40-metre line, and he's cut down by Bob Linder. Played back to David Green, a dummy half run, and he's about 5 metres short of the halfway. Eastern suburbs, have they got a kick left in them? They're trailing by a point. We're inside the last 5. Dane Sorensen, Gavin Miller, a jink, and then he tries to step, but he can't get through. Dummy half Dane Sorensen. That would be their 3rd tackle, or is it their 2nd? It's now with Finlayson. Right on the halfway, that's the 4th tackle. Dane Sorensen again to dummy half. Kevin Hastings calls it. Sorensen runs it, and a big run by the Kiwi international. Takes him 12 metres into Brisbane's area. Hastings wants it now. Here he is with the kick, looking for the flankers on the left. Eden leads the chase. Curry's underneath it. He's taken it. He's lost it. East have got it. They've got 6 more. It's with Wheeler. Wheeler's tackle. 11 metres out from the Brisbane line. Eastern suburbs need to come to the left and fast. It's played and it's dived on. 6 more tackles, but that's given Brisbane a chance to regroup. It's with Mike Eden. Hastings. Now it's out to Gavin Miller. Holds it up. Gets it to Leggett. Leggett's tackled 15 metres out from the Brisbane line. Dummy half again as Gavin Miller goes for a dummy half settle. Then he hits them, gives it back to Leggett. Leggett tries to dance around them, but he's tackled by the fullback, Tony Curry, or was he in French, I should say. Out with Paul Dunn. He hits them 10 metres out. This one is going right down to the wire. Played back to Garland. Off to Hastings. Onto Eden. Now Wheeler's coming up. The grubber kick off a Brisbane player. Eden's got it. 6 more tackles for Eastern Suburbs. How much more can Brisbane withstand? The time is running out for East. They've got to make the break shortly. This is Gary Worth now. 15 out. Worth will play it. Dummy half is Hardy. He goes himself, Hardy. Tackled about 8 metres away from the Brisbane line, and a knock-on. A knock-on by the Roosters, by Gary Worth, and a scrum will pack. Oh, talk about excitement. Well, if ever East needed a scrum against the feed, this is the one they want, and they all but got it. How many minutes to go, Peter? 2.5, we reckon. 2.5 minutes, we reckon. Easter penalty. Oh, my goodness. How much more can Brisbane take? They lead by a point. A differential penalty to East. Whilst ever this play, though, is inside Brisbane's territory, the pressure is not just there in turning them back in tackles. You can't give a penalty.
Well, at this stage of the year, Eastern Suburbs would have had plenty of training sessions. I've got no doubt that they'd have one special move they've worked on and had some success with. And if there is ever a time to pull out your best try-scoring move, this is it.
Well, Sorensen plays it. The dummy to the decoy open. They've gone blind, and here's Dunn. Gets a ball down. Hastings gets a pass away. That's Steve Hardy in 17. He's 2 metres away. He could see the line. He could see the paycheck of 120,000, but he couldn't get it down. It's played. It's come left for Sorensen, and Sorensen is tackled. 3 metres out. He'll play the ball back for Finlayson.
It's on wide to the left-hand side. Ray, if they can get it there, they've got 3 on 1.
Cut out ball by Leggett. Hastings, Eden, Hastings on the inside, Wheeler on the outside. He's taken, gets it back to Hastings. It's gone down to Miller. Miller back to Hastings. Hastings to Eden. Eden is taken. Eastern Suburbs throwing everything bar the Eastern Suburbs Leagues Club at the Brisbane team at the moment. The bomb's on from Miller. He gets it up. Miller's bomb. Was he tackled late? It's down, and it's with Eastern Suburbs. They've got 6 more tackles, and they go for the line. Finlayson is 2 metres out. Brisbane courageously hanging on to a point lead. A long ball away, and that's a great tackle. A great tackle by Meninga.
This has been mammoth defence by Brisbane. It must be something like 20 to 26 tackles now, and they've just kept throwing themselves into tackle after tackle. There have been try-scoring opportunities for Eastern Suburbs, but so far they've been able to cover up. How long can they keep doing it?
Paul Dunn held by 3 Brisbane defencemen. I would say we're inside the last 60 seconds, surely. Gavin Miller, Michael Eden, Kevin Hastings, he has dropped it. It's gone forward. The pass has gone forward.
Well, just as well for Kevin Hastings,
good.
The pass did go forward because he dropped it over the line, and that saved any problems on Kevin's behalf.
Goodness. I was telling you about young Scott Campbell. Laurie Fryer's head is sunken as the hopes of the East fans across Australia have gone down with him. I was telling you about young Scotty Campbell. They've won a scrum against the feed. How much can Brisbane take? Now they've got 6 more tackles against them. Hastings to play it. Dummy half Sorensen. Out through Hardy.
The bell's gone.
Miller. The siren has gone. Miller goes for the line. Garland's got it to Sorensen. There's the siren. It's over. Brisbane have won it. Brisbane have won the cup final. My goodness, and don't they deserve it? They must have withstood something like 24 tackles in the last exchanges of this unbelievably exciting cup final. Well, I was telling you about young Scotty Campbell, an 11-year-old with a problem, as did Fiona.